Hi, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most notorious criminals in American history. These individuals have left a lasting impact on our country through their heinous crimes and have become infamous in the annals of American history. Starting off at number 10, we have Ted Bundy. Bundy was a notorious serial killer and necrophile who murdered at least 30 young women in the 1970s. Despite being a charming and charismatic individual, Bundy was a cold-blooded killer who evaded capture for years before being sentenced to death in 1979. Coming in at number 9 is Al Capone, also known as Scarface. Capone was a notorious gangster and crime boss during the Prohibition era, controlling a vast criminal empire in Chicago. He was eventually convicted of tax evasion and sentenced to 11 years in prison in 1931. At number 8, we have John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown. Gacy was a serial killer and rapist who murdered at least 33 young men and boys in the 1970s. He was known for dressing up as a clown at children's parties and charity events, earning him his nickname. He was sentenced to death in 1980 and executed in 1994. Number 7 on our list is Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. Dahmer was a serial killer and cannibal who murdered 17 men and boys in the 1980s and 90s. He was sentenced to 15 consecutive life sentences in 1992, but was beaten to death in prison in 1994. Coming in at number 6 is Charles Manson, the leader of the Manson family cult. Manson and his followers committed 9 gruesome murders in the summer of 1969, including the famous Tate LaBianca murder. Manson was sentenced to death, but his sentence was later commuted to life in prison. At number 5, we have Aileen Wong, a serial killer who murdered 7 men in Florida between 1989 and 1990. Wuornos, who was a prostitute, claimed that she killed her victims in self-defense. She was sentenced to death and executed by lethal injection in 2002. Number 4 on our list is Whitey Bulger, also known as Whitey Bulger, was a notorious crime boss who controlled much of the organized crime in Boston during the 1970s and 80s. He was convicted of 11 murders and other crimes and sentenced to 2 life terms in prison in 2013. Coming in at number 3, we have Andrew Kunan, who murdered at least 5 people, including fashion designer Gianni Versus, in a cross-country killing spree in 1997. Kunan was found dead by suicide on a houseboat in Miami Beach, 8 days after Versus's murder. Number 2 on our list is Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. Ridgway was convicted of murdering 49 women in Washington state between 1982 and 1998. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2003. And finally, coming in at the top spot, we have Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber. Kaczynski was a domestic terrorist who conducted a campaign of mail bombings that killed 3 people and injured 23 others. He was sentenced to life in prison in 1998. That's it for our list of the top 10 most notorious criminals in American history. These individuals have left a lasting impact on our country through their heinous crimes and have become infamous in the annals of American history. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this one.